Welcome back to the Tatted Mentor. This week we've got a very special guest, Jody Basson from MasterStart, a very good friend of mine. We've met at various conferences and summits, etc. over the years. I'm very keen to talk to him today. There's some very exciting things I want to talk to him about as well. But just in terms of his journey, before we get to talk to him, I'd like to just take you through where he started and kind of where he is now. So starting off at Macro, very, very long time ago, in the e-commerce space, or just commerce space at that stage, and then moved to, had his own company called SAcamera, correct?
So I joined a startup called SAcamera.
Which was then acquired by MasterStart, or the MIH division, you said, Internet division.
Yeah, so MIH is the Internet division of MasterStart.
Yeah, and then you incorporated that with Takealot, a lot of work on Takealot, at that stage Kalahari, but now called Takealot. And then from there moved on to MasterStart, who he founded MasterStart, and he's now the CEO, again, after a small break of not being the CEO. But welcome, Jody. Very, very excited to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. And actually, we met in corporate, right?
We met in corporate.
Yeah.
We did meet in corporate, you're right.
Yeah. When you were at First Rand.
First Rand at West Bank.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. It was. So the first question I'm going to ask on behalf of the audience is, who is Jody? Who is Jody Basson? Where did he grow up? What's your story? What's your history? Before we get to the work stuff.
Yeah, so if I had to add a label, right? Just an entrepreneur. I grew up on the Cape Flats. I did my formal education. I studied at the University of the Western Cape. As you mentioned, started working, joined a startup. And once that entrepreneurial bug bites you, it started a life journey that I've been very fortunate to have, and I've worked in various senior capacity executive roles, as you mentioned, across both startup and corporate. But I'm still just that guy, right? The entrepreneurial journey. Make sure you stay very humble. As I mentioned to you before, it's very, very easy to fall off the top of the hill.
Yes.
The journey is an emotional one at times. Sometimes you feel like a complete failure. Other times you are a winner, and the euphoria that you live with. So yeah, if I was going to label myself, it's that. I'm an entrepreneur with a very close circle of friends that I enjoy spending time with. And that's going through this emotional roller coaster of business, life, and family. Yeah.
Awesome. I just wanted to kind of delve a bit deeper into MasterStart, is specifically in the academic space, obviously for the corporates, and I think it's more kind of aligned to financial space. But just from what you're kind of seeing in that space at the moment, what are your thoughts on kind of degrees? Or degreed people versus skills experience, or do you kind of bundle them together, that they're both important, or what's your thoughts on that? What's more important, or do you have a preference? Or
so, firstly, they're all people, right? And I think fundamentally that's important to understand that we work with people.
Yes.
And learning is about people. The space that I work in is in personal, professional development of people. So when it comes to formal qualification, we mustn't discount the value of knowledge. It's really important. Is that a golden key to actually having career success? Absolutely not. Right? It's many of the times it becomes a crutch for people to actually say, I have these qualifications, I should be getting this job, or I should be getting this role, or I should be there. And then you've got other people who don't have those qualifications, who hustle, and they get well beyond those people. As I mentioned to you before, when I look at the people who have invested in MasterStart, I think 3 of my 4 investors don't hold qualifications, but they are extremely successful. So yes, there are a lot of benefits to it. As an entrepreneur, I've got people in the business who, my partner in the business, Alexia, is Dr. Alexia Cox. And she's the perfect foil to me being the entrepreneur that wants to push and advance and do things. And she makes sure that the rules are in place so that I don't break all of them. And that combination is important. So I think answering your question, we need people. We need people who have the experience, people who are willing to learn on the job, who gain the experience. But we also need people with academic qualifications, and those people need to be able to work together in order to generate success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Spot on. Like, I'm just thinking from my perspective, I'm not an academic at all, but my middle son, who's studying at the moment, is such an academic. It's just, but there's obviously a place for both of us.
Yeah.
Especially with me, like, not having a degree, there is opportunity for people to get to a point by not necessarily having papers. And I work a lot with these guys in orphanages and stuff, especially in Pretoria, on this side of the world, where these guys in grade 11, grade 12, and there's just no hope on their faces. It's pretty crazy, crazy to see it. And when you kind of you tell them those stories but you don't need to go to a university or whatever. You can get a skill, you can get experience, you can do something, or even become an entrepreneur like yourself. That immediately their kind of eyes light up, and then they get a bit of hope. And that's kind of why this is so close to my heart. I want people to be able to see that you don't necessarily need to have a lot of experience, a lot of skills or whatever. There's opportunity and a place for you. So before we get to the kind of work, getting more into the MasterStart stuff now, what would you say to your younger self, or somebody sitting in a similar position in a township, in a grassy park, in the Cape Flats or whatever? What advice would you give them?
So this question is not about MasterStart, but it's a big belief that we brought into MasterStart. And it's about confidence, right? That if I had that opportunity, I would have just be a lot more confident. Confidence allows you, like we talk about, and on our way we spoke about business development and consulting. Difference a lot of times is just the confidence that somebody would have to go into a situation, into a meeting, into a client, and actually just confidently speak about what they're doing. Because people latch onto that. People understand when you go in there and you're not confident, then they're not going to buy into you, right? They're not going to say, this guy's actually, he might fail at what he's going to do, but I know somewhere along the line, this guy's going to be because I can see it's like he's invested in what he's doing.
Absolutely.
It's a big part of our beliefs, and when we get to MasterStart, I'll tell you about our 4 C's and sort of where that plays in. But in terms of, there's a lot of things you learn along the way, but especially as an entrepreneur, your confidence gets knocked from time to time, gets knocked massively. Sometimes you have to take a step back. Sometimes it's like I said, I was CEO before, right? And we spoke about it. Being CEO is not, it's a nice title, but it's a hectic job. It's one of the jobs you don't want to do forever. In my first stint as CTO, I failed, right? I failed at certain things and I had to take a step back. I went to go back and work as a founder. I did what I loved, which was consulting, building solution, building business. And I could do that pretty much in isolation. And I could build and move at my pace that, I find enjoyable. And I did that off the back of failure. And it's that confidence that actually helps you to do that. So, that would be just be confident.
Be confident, yeah. That's a nice, I like that kind of idea. Last week we spoke to somebody else on this podcast. Her name's Robin Jacobs. She was the COO at Sanlam. She's on sabbatical at the moment. And she was saying something similar about just ask the question. Have the confidence to ask. Yeah. The worst that can happen is they can say no. That's it. There's nothing else that they can do to you. That's it. But from a sales perspective, me being also the CEO of my companies, the confidence thing I really relate to, because it's almost like clients can smell if you're desperate, or if you just they can just sense it immediately that you don't have the confidence. Maybe you don't know what you're actually doing, and then they're not going to give you the work, kind of thing. So I like that sentiment.
People, right?
Yeah.
People, we have other senses other than just hearing and seeing.
Yes.
We pick up on other things about people, and when you're not confident, it's like you can smell that bad smell there, right?
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
you'll understand that, and you'll understand this person's coming in, like you said, they're desperate, they're not giving us the full story. You start asking questions,
Yes.
and that you don't get the opportunity. So you're not always going to get the words right. I sat in a meeting the other day with one of my, we've got some really good people in our business. I've got a very senior consultant, and we sat in this room and we were getting it all wrong. But we had the confidence within a couple of seconds just to pivot the conversation.
Yeah.
And we literally, it was an hour meeting. We probably sat there for 50 minutes getting it all wrong.
Yeah.
And in 2 minutes we got it right.
Yes.
Because we were confident enough to say, hey, we see we're not landing this with you. You're not getting what we're talking about. Let's do it this way.
Yeah.
Win automatically. But
100%.
we were confident enough to say that we're not explaining ourselves properly.
Yes. Let's maybe take a different approach.
Yeah.
I like that as well. Just to get into the MasterStart stuff. Now, firstly, maybe if you could just give a bit more of an overview of what MasterStart is, what you guys do, and then take us through those C's that you were talking about, or the 4 C's?
4 C's.
Yes.
Yeah, so MasterStart is a learning consultancy. We consult into the biggest corporates in South Africa to deliver learning solutions built off a range of online courses into a client. So we augment those courses in any which way a client would need. And Alexi will probably hit me for saying it in that way, but that's the entrepreneurial part, right? But we effectively deliver solutions into clients, and we make those solutions relevant. So for me, right, coming from a tech background, working in an ethic space, right, it's very important for people to understand this marriage that exists between me and the academic in our business, right? Because learning is, a lot of times, and you would know this, steeped in prestige and certification and all of those things. But the world is moving at this rapid pace. And, I said this to you, AI is teaching itself. If people don't continually learn, then you're just going to lose pace, right? And you're not going to be relevant anymore. So learning also needs to be adaptive to that. So I can't wait to learn something. I can't start my learning journey today and then in 8, in 10, in 12, in a year's time, I can now apply that skill. Guess what's going to happen? That skill is no longer required.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? So a big philosophy at MasterStart is that you need to start applying the skill as soon as you are on that course. Right? You start learning and applying today. Before we go into this, the 4 C's, and I always forget 1 C. I'm going to apologize for that beforehand. But we have this belief called think, apply, and grow. So the way that we build our courses, it's, you can go onto YouTube. We were talking about the great news podcast earlier. You learn a lot of stuff there, right? But you don't learn how to do something by going to the gym and listening to something.
Yeah.
You're completely distracted. You learn by doing. So the way that our learning methodology works is that you have to come onto the course, you have to think, right? We start pushing you into different places. Go and find this. Go and get this information. Go and think. It might sound like something pretty standard, but we actually start developing
but it's missing
that.
a lot of learning solutions.
No,
it resonates with me what you said.
5 years ago, we were competing with Hollywood movies in terms of video quality,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
In learning,
Yeah.
and it became this really, really high quality video experience. But is that an effective learning?
Yeah.
Right? You need to think, but then once you've thought and gone through all of this, that's knowledge, right? You've got the knowledge now, but can you do
Can
it?
you apply it? Yes, exactly.
So you have to go and apply.
Yeah.
And you have to go back into the workplace, back into the area of life where you need to apply this. And then you have to go see if the stuff that you've done now is actually applicable, if it works in your environment. We have live components in what and then you have to come to somebody, which we call an industry expert. They marry both academic qualification and real world experience. And you can come and tell him, like, dude, sorry, right? That doesn't work that way in my business.
Yes.
Or in the area that I work. And our philosophy in those live sessions is based on challenge-based learning, not based on a dude standing there explaining to you like this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and this is how it's going to impact you, right? It needs to be like, this doesn't work. I tried to do this, it didn't work.
Yes.
And you know what happens in that situation? The industry expert is going to say absolutely nothing. Your peer is going to come and say, no, you actually had to think of, and that peer-to-peer learning, right, is a vital, because we're adults, right? We're not blank slates.
Yeah.
We're all really experienced and good at what we do. Or at least we try to be.
Yeah.
And that's the knowledge we're bringing into the learning experience. So that's a big part of what we do at MasterStart. And that challenge-based peer-to-peer learning is an effective way, because all of a sudden somebody that's aligned to me and I can message that person afterwards on a forum or get in touch with him, and we can actually debate this further, so that I start understanding this concept. And what happens then is, and I'm stealing this completely from Alexia, people have light bulb moments. And it's like, I haven't thought about that before, right? And like she says, people will have these amazing, huge light bulbs. It's like, my life has changed.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I've literally, or people will have lots of little light bulb moments that actually says, I should start doing it like that. I've been doing this wrong all my life. Now I need to do it like that.
Yeah.
And what that does is, it really speaks to these 4 C's that we try and achieve on every learner in every course. Confidence, as I've said, is one of the big sort of aspects of what we do. Curiosity. Something that's becoming missing in the way that humans interact. People aren't that curious anymore. Remember a couple of years ago, right, before we had the internet or before we had access to the information, you would have had to go it's not that long ago. Right, before we had general access.
Showing our age.
We're showing our age. Like when we were at high school, Grover, right?
Yes.
Imagine, you had to go do a project. Where did you go?
To the library.
To the library, right? Yeah. That was the world. But you had to be curious, because other people just didn't do their project, right?
Yes.
But you had to have that curiosity, and we want to develop curiosity in people again, right?
Yeah.
So you won't find everything on our learner management system.
Yeah.
If that's the case, we're not fostering curiosity in the person. We also need to challenge you and challenge your character, right? So the project needs to be based on your workplace. It needs to be what you are doing and how you are going to apply it.
Yeah.
And that character is the third one that we pursue. And then we are still a learning organization, right? And at the end of the day, there is still an outcome, and you still need to prove to be competent. And that doesn't move away. It's not like you're not going to be assessed. That competence factor is still there. And those 4 C's are very important to us within the learning experience. And when we bring on industry experts, when we bring on partners, it's really important for us to embed that in their understanding, that they also partner with us and build very similarly.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes a learning experience great. Because learning, the reason I work in learning, right, is that learning is no longer the separate thing from working. I know how to build business. I enjoy building. I love building business. But people need to be able to learn and learn quickly. As I said, you start that course today, you need to start applying that skills immediately.
Yes.
Right? So don't think of our learning experience as it needs to be integrated into your work. So if you have a specific skill that you need to implement, you can actually do that through our courses and make your job the project. That's how you work at MasterStart.
Yeah.
So that if you have that project to complete, you can actually come onto our course, and it's a step-by-step sort of way of getting through it.
Yeah.
And in that way, it's applicable. So that's really the focus for us, right? That's the 4 C's, our think, apply, grow. It's there to make learning not a additional thing you're doing, but a normal thing that goes into your workflow.
Yeah.
Every single day that you're there.
Yeah. Do you call that project-based learning, or is it you said something else earlier? It wasn't project-based.
So there's different components. There's challenge-based learning, which I mentioned earlier. So learning is not linear, right? There's not one way to do it. And we also, we're being challenged. We're being challenged by our clients. We're being challenged internally. I challenge the team. And there's different ways to learn. We're talking about simulation-based learning in one conversation that we're having.
Yeah.
But there isn't a fix-all. right? Part of the learning experience and what we've learned. So MasterStart's been a huge learning curve for me, right? Being an entrepreneur, trying to make this space really trying to get this to work, and trying to embed a lot of the skills that we have into the clients that we work with. So they say you're only as good as the people you hire, and like we have an amazing team, right? Everybody there's better than me. I'd say it hands down, right? It's the only way you're going to grow a business, and the learning for us doesn't happen when the learning starts officially, right?
Yes.
So, my consultant walks into a client, and he's actually able to consult and listen to that problem statement. The biggest problem I see in learning, and my colleagues, and you'd probably attest to this, people all learn the wrong things, right? So, what's the story? I studied accounting. Me, right? I'll probably be the world's worst accountant. But you study the wrong thing, right? And you go on this path of not knowing. How do you choose
your career path? At 18 especially, I find it so really bizarre. Like people, you expected to know what you can do for the rest of your life when you're leaving matric. It's crazy. I mean, I've changed careers 3 times now. I was in call centers. Now I'm still in learning, but moving more into the AI space as well. People are so scared to like kind of shift.
I sold photographic equipment and now I'm in learning.
Yeah.
It's like there is no line in between that, right?
Yes.
It's like it's completely different. And then I studied accounting.
Yeah.
Match that.
No, I can't.
Right? Match.
Especially knowing you that they are. That's pretty crazy.
No, it's the thing is, one of the most difficult, and it's a big part of what we're trying to work on at MasterStart, is how we actually assess you quickly, easily, to actually make sure you're making the right career choices. Because it was fine in 1998 for me to go and study accounting, right? The world was moving a lot slower then.
Yeah.
If you're studying the wrong things now, even if you're doing a shorter program and you are wasting a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yes, it will teach you skills. Yes, it will teach you some stuff. But is it immediately applicable into your career? Those are things you need to know and understand. And MasterStart's doing a lot of work on the front end of that too. Yeah. And as we go into the new year, we'll start releasing a lot more things around that. Having really smart people in our organization, we now have proprietary frameworks, not something I could build you at all, but we have proprietary frameworks like a learning framework and a competency framework that our courses are actually built out of. So, people can go and look at a MasterStart course and actually say, these are the skills that I need. And we don't list outcomes, we list skills, because that's how we build. It's skills-based learning. Yeah. So that's how we build, and that's really important. So, and in what we do, but choosing the right thing, that's a challenge. That's one of the things we want to overcome because there's limited time, and we cannot waste people's time learning things that are not aligned to that next step. Because remember how you build a career, right? Although we're laughing, you started here and you did that and you did this. You're scaffolding skills one above the other. Yeah. And you're becoming better and better and you're scaffolding and scaffolding and scaffolding. If you build that scaffold wrong, you've all seen the funny or the YouTube videos of people building scaffolds wrong. That's imminent disaster. So think about that for your career.
Yeah, absolutely. There was just 2 more things I wanted to talk to you about. The one was this whole idea of being scared to fail, especially with having confidence. I think that's quite an important one. I don't know how many systems we built, 80 with Replit and stuff. We built probably 6 or 7, maybe even 12. You'll get it wrong. Failing is part of life. It's part of your business, part of your journey. It's part of how you learn. And I've seen so many people being so scared to fail. And this whole idea of failing forward, I think, is such an important thing. Like, don't be scared to take a chance and take that risk. And that, I think you'll understand that as an entrepreneur. Taking risks are a big part of it. And also being open to being, just getting that feedback to say, okay, this won't work, and just being open to taking it and saying, okay, that makes sense. Not always just thinking you failed completely on something. You can always move on to something else. So that fail forward component, can you maybe give us some sort of, or build a bit more on top of that, like maybe from the experiences at MasterStart or maybe Kalahari or...
So at MasterStart, remember I started out as CEO.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very great at the beginning, I have to say, right? Look, the start of a business, right? When you're alone, you're isolated, is difficult. And that first couple of years and I had to take a step back, right? And it's the best thing that could have happened. Is my experience. I stepped out of the CEO role. I went back into I went back into a zero business within this business. So to give you some insight, MasterStart started off as a business to consumer platform. So we had originally, post an Asper's journey, decided that we are going to build a business to teach people how to build e-commerce businesses. Complete fail. Nobody that's an entrepreneur really wants to learn something from. They want some mentorship, but they don't want a formal program from an entrepreneur that's going to teach them some secret sauce. So pivoted the business, partnered to USB Ed, and kicked that off. And it was, remember, entrepreneur coming into learning. Was pretty much a cowboy, coming into the space, and it didn't work very well at the beginning, right? So I signed the agreement. And then we had another CEO, my co-founder, come in, take over as CEO. And I had to live with that, right? I had to... and look, we talk about failing forward, but I have to be honest with you. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. But it was one of the worst experiences of my life then. It's one of the greatest experiences of my life now. Because that learning to be able to actually accept that failure, and you can't live in that failure. You have to say, what's the next thing I'm going to do? And that B2C business that MasterStart was no longer exists. The business I went to build after I failed, which is our business to business, our corporate consulting business, is now the business. But in order to build this, I had to fail. Right? I had to understand that failure is a constant. Disappointment is a constant. Especially in the field that, MasterStart is at its front, is a consultancy. And we go and speak to a lot of people. We build a lot of solutions. There's a lot of time, money, effort, emotion spent on taking us. You know how difficult it is to build a learning solution.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you go, the client's invested, and then 2 weeks later, there's no budget. We can't do this anymore. And we get disappointed all the time. That happens constantly, and you just have to deal with it. You have to be able to go on, you have to move forward, and that's the reality of business. That business is not always something that you are going to win, right? What it does is it just makes the victories that much more sweeter.
Exactly.
And that much better. So yes, in terms of failing forward, it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to experience it.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? And it's about keeping that sober mind and actually, again, just being confident to say that I'm good at what I do. I know why I'm here. I know what I want to get out of it. And I need to pursue this. You cannot avoid failure. It's impossible. It's going to happen. It's how quickly you can pick yourself up out of it.
Absolutely.
And it happens to all of us.
Yeah, it does. It's spot on. And then the other point that I wanted to talk to you about, or maybe just make some comments about, was just the fact that things are moving at such a rapid pace now. You were talking about 1998 when we were in school, or actually we weren't in school, we just finished school. But 3 years ago, for example, 3 to 4 years ago, I was very much involved in these coding camps and stuff like that with a whole lot of different partners and stuff. And that was it, make sure that you study coding, you understand that, because that's the way forward. And AI came, and knowing coding, that doesn't help you at all now, because AI can code for you. There's no need to learn that. So things are changing so rapidly. It's becoming quite scary, actually, to figure out what you're going to do with your life going forward. Do you have any just last thoughts, ideas, or maybe some feedback to the kids and the youth that are currently sitting there, that maybe that they can get from you as the CEO of MasterStart now?
So it's both scary and exciting, right? Because for me it's exciting because we don't know what we're going to do forever. And that's great, right? Because imagine being stuck in the same job for 30 to 40 years. I know that was things that our parents did, right?
Yeah.
And they found joy in getting a watch at the end of 25 years, right? But that doesn't make life exciting.
Yeah.
And we have to look at the advantages of the world we live today. So when we look at the way that we build our careers, we have to scaffold that skills, right? And that's really important. You can't, my co-founder always said, you can't study for 5 years and then work for 50. That's just not the world that we live in anymore. So you have to scaffold your skills, and we have to forget about the concept of learning in the way that a lot of people think about it, right? So you learn all the time. If you did not learn today, you must have slept all day, and then possibly you even learned something in your dreams.
Yeah.
Right? Is sort of what happened. But we need to continually, right? There's that principle that way outdates us, 70-20-10. And at MasterStart, we were like 70-20-10, not really anymore.
Yeah.
Right? It's connect, work, and learn. And if there's anything I could tell people, young people, connect. Right? We learn from each other, from human beings. If you are at home not connecting with human beings often enough, you are losing the opportunity to learn. Those skills are really, really important. While, from a business perspective, please come and do your courses online. We do all our interventions online. Connection, human connection is a vital part of who we are, and AI cannot do human connection, right? So the way we connect with people, the way we interact is what makes us human. Work. Work is the biggest learning experience. That failure, that doing things during the day. The beautiful thing that AI is doing for us, it's taking monotonous work away. Right? So we are more challenged to actually think about what we have to do, and how we apply the skills that we have. And if we're doing that, we're going to be scaffolding skills automatically. And then learn, right? You need to spend time learning. You need to integrate learning into your work life. Learning needs to be something that you're doing often, is important. And if I have advice for anybody, it's connect with people, go out and see them, apply yourself at work, and then learn. Learn. Because AI is learning, and it's going to learn faster than you. And don't get left behind. Those are the really important things that you need to do for your career. And whatever the world changes, right? We don't know, right? The reality is we don't know where we're going. The rate of change is so hectic that I'll use an example. When we started when we were in the camera business, the startup business, we couldn't spend 20,000 Rand on Google ads. There wasn't enough traffic. Yeah. I think you probably spend that in 2 minutes now.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's how rapidly things have changed, and you need to be adaptive to that. And through connect, work, and learn, you will build the skills to be able to do that.
Very good feedback. Thanks, Jody, and thanks very much for joining us on the podcast. It's been very enlightening for me to learn a bit more about you, even though we've known each other for a number of years now. Yeah. But thank you very much. Cool. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to put your LinkedIn link in the comments as well, so people can connect with you. But please also like and subscribe to this channel. We want to do a lot more of this stuff. We've got a lot of speakers coming up that's going to be talking here as well. So yeah, thank you for joining us on the Tatted Mentor, and see you next week.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.
Super.
Thanks, Paul. You need a clap.
No, you need a clapperboard. It's not a board anymore, but
yeah, still good. Okay. Welcome back to the Tattoo Mentor.